Welcome back. We're here on your Neighborhood Watch, where every first and third Thursday of the month we talk about all things law enforcement related with special guests from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station. In the studio, we have Deputy Josh Dubin, and on the line, we have Deputy Tony Moore, who works with the ECOM unit, which focuses on cyber activity and outreach through social media and online with the Sheriff's Department. And Tony, you were just, Josh and I were just asking you some questions about the whole BitConf.
Right. I personally, even as a deputy sheriff, I don't know too much about Bitcoin. And I have some questions about it too. Some of the things that I've, seen online and some of the research that I've done is, I wonder, is Bitcoin is it going to take off in the United States? And what's with the Bitcoin physical ATM machine that you could actually purchase Bitcoin? Maybe Deputy Moore can shed some light on that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, will it take off? That's a good question. The way I like to equate Bitcoin right now is you have to think internet circa 1995.
Like Prodigy?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, Prodigy was before AOL.
Yeah, I was a Prodigy user too, But yeah, you got to think back then. When you explain the internet to somebody back then, the questions were, well, how do I get on it? How do I use it? What do I need it for? And why would I use it? It was just a completely unknown thing. And so we kind of equate Bitcoin to that as well, or cryptocurrency for that matter, to that as well. We're in this development stage. However, you talk about will it take off? There's more spending now as far as commercial entities getting involved in Bitcoin, more so now than there ever was in 1995 as far as getting on the internet and conducting business. So we're seeing a rapid growth from businesses taking part in it. And to the tune of there's well over 60,000 retail chains that are allowing you to use Bitcoin to purchase. So some of the major ones like Overstock.com, Newegg.com just jumped on, and they're allowing you to use Bitcoins to purchase products. So we're seeing a takeoff. And a lot of it has to do with just, a more secure way to purchase online. Remember, credit cards weren't developed for the internet. They were created well before the internet, and their security measures just aren't sustainable for the age of the internet that we're in. When you speak of ATM, we just had the first 2 ATMs installed in Los Angeles area at a place called Locali, and they serve great sandwiches, by the way, no plugs, but great sandwiches there. But Locali, and one's in Hollywood, one's in Venice, and probably about 3 weeks ago, those were just installed. And me being Bitcoin cryptocurrency enthusiast that I am, I went over there and tried it out, and it's a really easy way to purchase Bitcoins. And you just have to give them, some information, and that's just based on, any monitoring laws that we have in the United States, and just know your customer that are required by the government. But once you do that, it's a very easy way to purchase Bitcoin. So very safe and easy way.
When you approach this ATM, how exactly do you pay for the Bitcoin? Did you use your physical ATM card, or did you insert cash, or?
Yeah, it will take either or. You can use your personal one. I chose to use cash. I put $2 in there, and I got $2 worth of Bitcoins into a Bitcoin wallet.
That's really interesting, because I had heard, the value of a Bitcoin, and I've seen these shiny metal looking objects online when you pictures of them, but I don't really understand it. How does that work as far as, you could get, so you're saying you could get $50 worth of Bitcoin, or you could get $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. It's not a currency like a dollar or a pound or a euro or something like that, where it has a standard fixed value, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The best way to think about it is, and a lot has been talked about the volatility of Bitcoin.
Right.
Does it hold value? And the best way I say is, don't think of Bitcoin as a value holding service. And actually, me personally, I wouldn't even recommend you throw all your money into it and think it's going to hold value. There has been people that made money off it based on the volatility of it moving up and down. Right now, it's been pretty stable at about $600 a Bitcoin. But when you purchase a Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is equivalent to 600. I believe I just ran a check. It's $626 right now.
U.S. dollars.
What's that?
United States dollars.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
626 United States dollars.
As opposed to Canadian or Australian
Or euro.
Right,
or euro.
right, or euro.
There's
It would
other
have a
currencies in
different
the world, Perry.
rate.
America.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Sorry.
when I purchase a Bitcoin, like let's say I want to purchase $5, I'm purchasing $5 of a Bitcoin. So that may equate out to 0.00025 of a Bitcoin.
Okay.
And the thing is, the Bitcoins are divisible all the way down to the 8th decimal place.
Oh, wow.
So when you think there's only 21 million Bitcoins that would ever be mined or created, that's 21 million to the 8th decimal place.
Much
So-
like my checking account.
Yeah. I wish mine was like that. So we're never going to run out of Bitcoins if that's some people's concern. Well, only 21
Gotcha.
million ever be made or mined or available. That's 21 million to the 8th decimal place.
Tony, this is just great information. Can I trouble you to stay around for one more segment? Because I want to talk to you a little bit about parenting online activity for children.
Yeah, sure. Great. I would love to.
Awesome. We have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. We're here on your neighborhood watch on the hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, where we talk about all things Santa Clarita Valley law enforcement related. We have Deputy Josh Dubin from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station in the studio, and on the line we have Tony Moore from the ECOM unit of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And Tony, just to recap, was telling us all about Bitcoin, its uses. There are physical ATMs. There are, positive, productive uses. I think Bitcoin gets a lot of negative media attention, but, Tony, you were just talking about some of the positive uses as far as if you're in a third world country or, if you're just trying to avoid some fees from certain larger cash lenders or cash transfers.
Yeah, correct. And, the thing that most people don't understand is there's quite a few people out there that don't use banking systems. And, there's 7 billion people in the world, about 1 billion don't use a banking system. And that's a number that a lot of people aren't familiar with, aren't aware of. That, here in the United States we have banks everywhere, and it's just something that we just know and use. But there's several countries that don't have banking systems or don't have access to it or don't even have the cash to even use it. So something like this just opens up the market for those individuals that can use a system to send money to families and use commerce and do what they need to do in their lives. So yeah, there has been negative media, always, just like with normal currency. It's used for crime and other things, and I think cryptocurrency and Bitcoin just caught a lot of that in their early stages.
So there's hope for our sound engineer, Mark Urbina. He doesn't have to put all of his money under a mattress, which is good.
Yeah, he's good.
But we also want to talk about parenting activity for your children online. And the reason why I want to bring it up is because we had a breaking story out here in the Santa Clarita Valley last night. We were monitoring social media activity because we like to stay in touch, too, with at KHTS AM 1220. We also follow at SCV Sheriff, and I follow you at LA Cyber Cop. And on Twitter, there was a lot of pictures getting put out. There was an account created called SCV Purge, and they were we're not sure who it is. It's being investigated right now by the Special Victims Bureau, but allegedly these kids, and we think it might be from the Santa Clarita Valley based on the content, but we're asking people for pictures and give us your dirt and we'll post it anonymously. And then it was posted anonymously, and then the messages were sent out. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about, just because with all these growing forms of social media, you have all these outlets for this type of dangerous behavior, and it can have a lot of unintended consequences when you send out those pictures and stuff. So I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about kind of advice and information that you have for parents who might be concerned about their child's online activity and social media activity.
Yeah, it's a great concern, and one of the things we do here at ECOM is we do try and push out information that can give the public tools and resources, and not only that, but directions they can go to get more information, whether it's federal agencies or even their local station. The thing that I could say that's important is you got to know what your child's doing, and it's easier said than done. But primarily, what that says is we give our kids a mobile device that, by the way, it's a computer that they can do pretty much anything they can do on that phone
Right.
that they can do on a laptop. And they're going on all these different sites and they're accessing these different things. And we send them out in the world and we say, go tell the world about how great you are. and they're doing that, and we're not monitoring what they're saying. And the kids today, they just don't understand the consequences of sending out a picture of them posing in their bathing suit, just something that's innocent.
Right.
And they don't know, the far-reaching. I mean, that can be sent all the way around the world. That picture gets used on an advertisement that may not be, very nice or friendly, and they have no control to get that picture back. So it's really, if parents can just know what their kids are doing, monitor their internet use, monitor the use of that mobile device, and maybe, don't give your kids a smartphone at a young age. Give it to them at an age when they're a little more responsible, like maybe 16 or 17 years old. Just those types of things. And then if it comes down to just a personal laptop, use that laptop in a family area. Don't let them use it behind closed doors. We like to say in our class that we teach to Sheriff's Department personnel on the safety of social media, would you let your child in their room behind a closed door with a pedophile? Okay, you're doing the same thing if you're letting them use their laptop behind closed doors in their room, unattended, without monitoring. So you really got to, the controls have to start at home.
And, I could agree more. And that's a great point, because there's so many people, especially, I work patrol still about, 1 day a week or so, and we're still contacting people. I'm still contacting people, these 12, 13, 14-year-olds that have iPhone 5S, these $100, $500 phones. And this is like having a 4G super fast internet laptop computer in your pocket. And there are still phones available at, your local cell phone retailer store that you can just text and call, and that's it. That don't have internet capabilities. So, great point.
And Tony, when you have a parent who might come in contact with, how would you? Do you guys have a website or for references? Does it depend on the situation as far as where you might send them for more information, so that they can maybe do some investigating online if they want to look into parental blocks and that type of thing?
Yeah, one good website I would always recommend, and we always like to refer to vetted government agency websites. But one I particularly like is NetSmarts, and that's with a Z at the end. NetSmarts.org. Great website. I know they work with the missing and exploited children. That network. A little bit of the FBI submit some of this stuff as well, but they have great tools and resources on that website on how to talk to your kids. Let's say, you work for a school, you're a school resource officer, or you're even a teacher. You can hold particular meetings with your kids, and it even gives an instructor guideline on how to hold a meeting about online safety. So there's tools for kids, tools for parents, there's coloring books, all these different types of things that you can do. But I really, really like that site, and I would recommend parents go to that one.
Awesome. Well, Tony, we have to take a break, but thank you for calling in and giving us this great information. Again, that website is NetSmarts. That's NetSmartz.org. If parents want to check that out and get a little more information. Tony, we really appreciate your time, and thank you for calling in.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and great job on what you guys are doing with this program and getting the information out to your community. Great job.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. And we'll be right back on your hometown station, AM 1220.
You can do it, Perry. Go.
I'm almost there. AM 1220 KHTS.